Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. I hope everyone's doing all right on this Thursday Eve. I certainly am having my time of it. I'm tired. I'm over it. Done with people, mostly Republicans. And I am very close to moving to Missouri just so that I can vote Republicans out of office out of spite at this point. Freaking annoying. Love having my financial situation used as a hostage in some stupid political bullshit. It's lots of fun. The entirety of the payment plan that I am on has now been blocked by the Seventh Court of Appeals. No carve outs or anything like that, just straight out all of it's blocked. And so I have no idea what's going to happen now. I was already sitting here dealing with bullshit from the Department of Education and MOHELA, the servicer that is attached to Missouri. Unfortunately, it is a quasi-state agency, and that is the ground. That is the basis of the grounds that the Missouri Attorney General is using to attempt to sue the Biden administration. For what reason? Not really a good one. Nothing there that's actually substantive in any way. He keeps giving lip service to, not wanting average Joes to pay off Ivy League debt and bullshit like that. And I'm like, I did not realize that the two public universities that I went to out of the three were Ivy League. Hell, even the fucking private one that I went to is an Ivy League. Bullshit. So yeah, that's fun. It's fun. It's fun. I love living here. It's the best place to live. I love it here. Love it so much. I should have just gone and gotten a degree abroad. I really should have just sucked it up, said, I'm going to just leave this country, get a degree abroad, and even if I came back, at least I would have gotten a degree for practically nothing. At that time, it was free, I think. Like, if I went to Canada, it would have been free. Went to Germany, England, hell, even just paying out of pocket probably would have cost less fucking money. Oh. Hate it here. Literally. It's like I am trying to kind of tone down the amount of political stuff that I consume lately for my own mental health, honestly. And a lot of it's not really productive. And I kind of already know what I'm doing. I've already done a lot of work on my own to try and advance whatever cause I can, but I live in a very liberal state. It's pretty obvious where the vote presidentially, House of Representatives, we don't have a senator up for, oh no, we have a senator up for election right now, I think. Is Liz Warren up for election, I think? I think so. Yeah. Elizabeth Warren. Up for re-election. And she will be facing off against who? Oh, I don't know. Because we haven't had primaries yet. Oh. Okay. Primaries is, wow, all right. It's not until September. Okay. Yeah, if she doesn't win, I'll eat my hat, I guess. I don't know what else to say about that one. I mean, the Republican that wants to run against her is like a crypto bro, so. I think even the more conservative Democrats in the area won't be voting for a crypto bro, mostly because they're a little older and don't understand it at all. So, anyway, midnight in Salem. All right. So I'm going to go in here. Not supposed to yet, or, oh. Never mind. We can look in. And I'm going to tell you right away, honestly, this is exactly what I would expect from the place in Salem. Like, it would look like that. It really would. I didn't want to talk to you. Oh. Okay. Into the otherwise not PBD Essex Museum. Hmm. Look at any of this. The genealogy. I don't see any genealogy here. I don't think you know what that word means, Nancy. Not one of them. Double check that. Come on. The Salem of yesterday. It's funny, they mention Nathaniel Hawthorne, but don't actually mention that he is Judge John Hawthorne's great, great, great grandson, I believe. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm expecting that I will understand the relevance here. Okay. Not terribly helpful or interesting. Okay. Not only do we mention the Native American name for the area and the people that live there in text, but we also bring it out in the voice acting. Gotta give some credit where credit is due. Well done, her interactive. Well done. See something strange in your neighborhood? Who are you gonna call? There's a lot of don't hesitate on here. Just saying. There it is. What is this book? Ah, not a lot there, but okay. Ooh, a tall, skinny one. Woo! Without the teeth, it gives me very Toad. No? I have a pumpkin. We did. Dot, dot, dot. Okay. Why did I get a tour ticket from her? Not like you have a lot of visitors. Okay. There were exhibitions. I mean, the giant poster right behind you. That's not really about ancestry. What really? Okay. But your sister is accused of a crime. There you go. Okay, that's disappointing. We don't get to look for that. That's kind of okay. Like, which is amazing because pumpkins are not that cheap, actually. I how do I know? What? There we go. That was really difficult. Stupidly difficult, in fact. Ah, fuck. All right. Wanted to. All right. Wanted to look. Okay. Small point of order. Got to put my librarian hat on here for a minute. These are kept in essentially the attic space. Like, this is too warm. Climate is not controlled up here. You would not be storing original books from the 17th fucking century in these conditions. You were just asking to lose material. All right, AW, Accused Witches Organization. This is a little weird. Hmm. And there we go. Nathaniel Hawthorne was born Nathaniel Hawthorne, the great great grandson, only two mistake. They changed their name from Paris to Perry. Ah, now the secret comes out. They're actually descendants from the people who did the bad thing. Okay, not super stuff, but Salem and the Prohibition. AW was originally another way, as in Prohibition. I wonder how legit that is. I've never heard of it before. But this is the only context in which I've heard of it. We're not going to talk about the whole Karis thing. All right, fair enough. I guess that's what we're doing. Oh. Ooh. Okay. What do I do with this fucking ticket? Oh, that's how it works. Okay. What do? I think, hold on. That little, like, sparkly symbol thing. This one, right here. All right. We did get an acknowledgement that this is the old town hall. There's that, right? Is there one of those, like, by the statue here? Nope. Nope. Let's try the cemetery. All right. Now I get to be extra critical here. Hold on. It is time for me to put my nerd hat on for a minute. All right. So, the Puritans were Protestants. And one of the interesting things you can eventually learn about living in the New England area when you're looking at cemeteries, historical cemeteries, is how Protestants and Catholics were buried differently. It's very easy to tell once you learn what kind of denomination a cemetery is, if it's a Christian cemetery and historical one. So, and I want to just make sure I'm gonna pull up the actual reasoning for this. Is there all supposed to be? Yeah. Okay. So, I believe it's because they. Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's what I thought. Right. Okay. So, the thing is, the Puritans were Protestant. This would be a Protestant cemetery. There's no way that a cemetery this close to the center of town, even at this early stage in colonial history, would be any other denomination than the dominant one of the town. It's far too prominent. You would have to be rather wealthy to live to have a plot here. So even if some of these graves, which, like, I see some of the in some of the, what's it called, like this carving here, that's actually more of an early 1800s fun thing. This too is also, yeah, this is too new to be actually where Judge John Hathorne would be buried. Like, the style of these is just wrong. These ones, especially the really big thick ones, they're far too thick. Like, these thin ones are more appropriate for the 1700s and early 1800s. And the taller they are generally is one sign that they could be newer. Those carvings, you can kind of tell. The Puritans were famously very Spartan. They didn't like putting a lot of things on their gravestones, and so the more elaborate designs, putting on any kind of decorations, any kind of like memento mori style carvings would be what's that? Okay, would be something that developed later when more strict puritanical standards were gently relaxed. Anyway, the big thing that I'm trying to get to here is that there's no way that this is accurate in any way, shape, or form. This is not, first of all, it's a terribly laid out cemetery. Second, it is not a Protestant one. One of the key things of Protestant cemeteries, especially very religious Protestant communities like the Puritans, is that they would be following Christian burial traditions of their own, very, very specifically. Catholics kind of don't really have much in the way of this because, you know, Protestants, one of the things that a lot of Protestant denominations believe in is kind of the eventual resurrection and return of Christ and specific things around what will happen when Christ returns. One of those is that graves that are facing where Christ will be resurrected will be the first ones to return from the grave and ascend to heaven. So all gravestones in Puritan, pretty much all gravestones in historical Protestant cemeteries in the Northeast United States face east toward Jerusalem. And that is why this doesn't make any sense, because you have graves that face like this way, these graves face this way. Some of them face this way, like this one's facing totally in this direction. They arranged it to look interesting, not to be accurate. I know this is a dumb little stupid pedantic thing, but it's stuff like this that like I said, once you notice it, it is hard to unnotice it. And since I live here, pretty easy for me to notice it at this point. How many plots of land did he steal? Nope. Damn it. Ah, that works. It's a little more like she's gonna beat somebody. Like, that doesn't look... Oh, okay. Whoa, gee. The ways that this game's camera decides to turn is just bothering me. That is a giant inaccuracy right there. There is no way in hell that this is not a consecrated Christian cemetery. No way in hell. There is no way at all that they would put unmarked graves of convicted quote unquote witches in the same cemetery where not more than 10-15 feet away are like the judges and their families. No way in hell. In fact, I happen to know that at least one potential big asterisk on that one grave that may or may not be Goody Proctor is like all the way on the outskirts of Salem, where even today I would consider it like kind of isolated from much of civilization. It's actually right next to a highway exit. You get off the exit, and right there in front of you is like the Proctor tomb. And yeah, like there's no way that that would have been left here, you know? Ooh, and crosses on a grave? Absolutely not. No, 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 no. These things right here? Nope, that's not a thing. Not for the Puritans. They hate that shit. Puritans are weird, man. Still dealing with all their bullshit sometimes, I swear to God. Okay. What are those things? Um, Step forward. There we go. Having a good time with that one, huh? Her twisted soul dragging the living into the afterlife. Okay. What do? Huh. Didn't think that would let me do that. Why isn't that working? Right. Because that's where you can put pumpkins. I forgot you can put pumpkins on those. Duh. Ugh. Good for you. Too late. You're fun at parties. Okay. I need at least one more pumpkin for in here. Two more pumpkins. I'm sorry. I will go make 2 pumpkins. I don't know. Oop. Whoa. Oh, hold on, man. Sinkhole? What do you mean sinkhole? This is a fucking pothole. We'll drive over it. It'll be fine. That's very accurate, though. We have so many goddamn potholes. It's not even funny anymore. I don't know. I mean, almost 100 years of decay. I have a feeling that it might just be they're falling apart, Olivia. I think you might be blowing out your ass a little bit. All right. Short squat classic. Yeah. These are a little stale, unfortunately. Yeah. Stale chip ASMR? Can that be a thing? Where it's just like, I mean, well, so that's the thing. Pringles aren't actually chips, are they? They're like potato crisps, I think is what they're called, or something like that. Like they aren't chips. Yeah, they are called potato crisps. And they're not chips because they're actually like mashed potato or something like that. It's not like a slice of potato and fried in some way like actual potato chips are. um yeah, exactly. They're like absolutely legally required to say that. I want to say that they're not actually, at least in the grocery stores that I go to, they're not actually even in the section with the chips. Like they're in the general snack section still, but like they are closer to the nuts and things like that than they are the chips, which is interesting. Oh well, that's just because Europe has got their head up their ass and think they have better food than we do. It's too funny to me how it's like I find far too much stuff on TikTok about like USA versus Europe and Europeans going like everything in the USA is toxic. Can you believe that they let these things into their food? And it's like, girl, Red 40 is still legal in Europe. They just have a different name, honey. Like you don't ban it. Don't you have your own cancer related shit, all right? And then of course they go to like a Trader Joe's and like, can you believe that this is all they have for farmers markets? And it's like, no, that's not a farmers market. That's a fucking grocery store. Yes, all of it is mass produced food because it's a fucking grocery store. Like, do you not have Tesco's, Waitrose, any of those things? Like, I don't know that I would call Trader Joe's a Waitrose. Um, I guess Whole Foods would be kind of similar to Waitrose in that way, as in like high priced, very quality kind of deal. questionable whether it's useful, you know. Lunch with wine and a cigarette. Very, very true. All right, well, we're going to keep making pumpkins because I don't know what else I'm doing right now. What pumpkin face shall we make this time? Hee 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 hee. Let's do the happy face. Happy face. Shut up, Nancy. I love you, but shut up. Yeah, no, that's a fun one, though. Don't do that. Except, at least do it once, because you can. Have a good night, though. Thanks for dropping by. Yep, that happened too. That's my favorite one, though. That's my favorite one. The ending is the weakest part of it. It makes no freaking sense. It's too good. All right, so I have officially put all of the jack-o'-lanterns in the house here. I don't think that... Oh, shit. I didn't need to do that. Well, too late now. We are back in Salem. Welcome back, Elraz. Welcome back. Did you... So you weren't here for my... Oh, no. You weren't here for my rant about how the cemetery isn't right, and I totally recognize that even people here in New England probably don't know this shit. Ignore all of that. So we have now officially been inside the cemetery, and the cemetery is not accurate because the graves are all facing in different directions, which is not how a Protestant cemetery, especially a Puritan one, would be set up. Basically, the way that you can tell, in New England at least, the way that you can tell historical cemeteries, whether they are primarily Protestant cemeteries or whether they're Catholic cemeteries, is by the direction the graves face. If they face in different directions, then it's Catholic. If they all face to the east toward Jerusalem, then they're Puritan. That's how you know. There's kind of like this fundamental schism with Catholics believing that the body is pointless after death. Essentially, it's just the soul. And Puritans and Protestants believing that the body still has a role to play with the return and resurrection of Jesus. So that is why graves are set up that way. And that's how I know that oh, the other thing that was a giant... Oh my god, I hate how you were right behind me all the time, you crazy... the other thing that's really wildly inaccurate about this, and like I understand from a gameplay perspective, they're doing this so that everything is in the same place, but like, okay, look, we've got, you know, Judge John Hathorne over here. We've got Judge Samuel Sewell over here. We've got Doherty Cromwell. Oops. This is Roger Conant, the founder of Salem, right? So we've got people who are very prominent, and that makes sense for being right in the middle of Salem. You know, prominent people would have the wealth and privilege to own plots in such a privileged location. But when you listen to the little audio tour thing or whatever, it says that these graves here are unmarked and very likely the witches' graves, like the accused witches, which they would not have been buried here. They would not have been buried with a marker even at all. They were usually given nothing whatsoever. Oh my god, how I... The whole time. Jesus Christ. I've been streaming for an hour and I have not been showing my screen. That's brilliant. I won't say that much has really happened, but oh my god, now I have to do the whole spiel again because I did it all with the recording the VOD. None of it's gonna have it on there. Shit. Oh my god, I love that. I was so mad because when I started streaming today, literally like just 2 hours ago, a federal judge on the Seventh Circuit of Appeals blocked Biden's, the Biden administration's implementation of the SAVE student loan repayment program. And yeah, that's what I'm on. And so I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. It's kind of great. So yeah, I was frustrated and just glossed right over. So, oh my god, I hate how you're just right there all the time. That's why I hate why you're there. All right. So yeah, as I was saying, you can see that these graves are all facing in different directions, which is how you know that this is, well, they're facing in different directions, which if they were a little more orderly, I would say it's a Catholic cemetery. They're not orderly, they're just made to look kind of weird, and that's just for making the gameplay space a little bit more interesting, I guess. But because I know the history of Salem and know who's buried here, like the judges, they were Puritans, they were Protestants. These graves should all be facing east toward Jerusalem. And so that's just a weird inaccuracy. The other thing that I brought up, so there's some other weird things, is that like these thinner things, like these thinner graves here, like this grave here especially, this one back here probably, I could expect to be from the late 1700s, early, from the late 17th century, early 18th century, you know, late 1600s, early 1700s, potentially. But then you get things like, oh god, I hate this. Okay, then you get things like this, right? Where you've got this, you know, the thin is still there, but you've got this carving that's at the top, and Puritans were very famously against any kind of ornamentation. So that is actually more emblematic of the early 1800s, when those decorations started showing up in a lot of these graves. So the early Victorian period is when you started getting these taller stones. They started to add the kind of classic, almost Edward Gorey kind of things that we know, like willow trees were really popular. And the skull with wings was very popular as well. One thing that you will never find in a Protestant Puritan cemetery are crosses. So right there, this is definite big old no-no. That was not a symbol that they allowed to have on their graves. These graves, on the other hand, these ones, yes, that is Alexander Bell as an Alexander Graham Bell. But like these things that are thicker, I don't know where these are from, when these are supposed to be from. And what's kind of weird is that you have things like Samuel Parris here, right? 1650s to 1720. And then Alexander Graham Bell, 1847, 1922. And they use the same model, which again, we're probably just reusing, you know, things over and over again. But like, why does a grave from the 1600s here look the same as a grave from the 1920s? No, there's no sense to that. None whatsoever. I need to make another, there's another candle here. I need to make another, what's it called?
A-W. This is the same mark.
My brain.
Mosam Castle.
Pumpkin.
What a strange
Pumpkin.
coincidence.
The other weird niche knowledge thing that I pointed out, I guess I can show for you and also for the VOD because I'm really good at this.
The Salem Museum.
Shut up. We got access to the secret special collection here in the museum, which is upstairs, right? And right away, as soon as you get up here and you look at one of these,
whoa, originals?
there you go.
These books must
They're hundreds of years old. They're originals, right? Absolutely fucking not. There's no way that any museum, library, archive worth half its weight would ever keep books in that condition. I mean, first of all, this space here is an HVAC nightmare. There's no way in hell that you're going to be able to regulate the temperature, the humidity of these spaces. And if we're talking about texts from the 1600s, 1700s, those are incredibly fragile and need to be kept in a climate controlled area. Like, right, yeah, seriously. And they just have them in like regular bookshelves, no glass, no temperature control, nothing at all. It's just like out in the open in a dusty attic in a hot building. Like, no, don't tell me that. That's no. All right, I came in here to make pumpkins. Here we go. Because this is what we get for mini games in this one. All right, find a good mouth. A scary one. Spooky. Yeah, scary.
Done.
More spoopy than scary, but you know.
Now to find a...
Okay. All right. I know of at least 3 more candles. Oops, 1 more. And then we just... Boop.
Yes.
Yeah. Trying to think of where they all are. I don't think I've had any other really big things. And like at the very least for the VOD, like you'll have heard the conversations that have been had. Oh, that's kind of like, you know, that's a little Jack Skellington. I'll take it. You know, Nightmare Before Christmas. I'll take it. That one can go right on the courthouse.
When do we want it? Now!
What do we want?
Yes.
When do we want it?
Now! What do we want? Justice!
Yeah, you got it. You got it. I could have sworn there was another one over here. Justice! Now! What?
The specter may be hanging over Salem, but that doesn't...
Out of my way. Okay, wait, there's one here. Okay. Knew there was another one somewhere around here. So, all right, there's one in here too. I don't actually know if there's any like reason to do this, but I want to. It's a good enough reason for me, I guess. Extra spoopy? Ooh.
Done. This looks great.
That's perfect. So, I mean, this is kind of like a weird thing here, and because I mean, I don't know how to feel about this. I didn't even see that one before. You sneaky little devil. Boop.
Yes.
So we've read enough documents now that we understand the kind of central tension that's in the game here over the Hathorn House itself and the ownership of it. That there's this, you know, movement by the AW movement, the accused witches, that, you know, it should be returned as reparations. Then there's, you know, it should be given to the town. There's more there. There's at least one other interested party. And then the Perrys over here are actually the Paris's. Ooh, that's extra spooky.
Done.
And the Paris's were some of the biggest people that accused witches, and so, you know, and this will take a little bit more shape. I'm not providing the hugest of spoilers here, but like the whole thing is that there's still this lingering mistrust among people who live in Salem to the Paris's to the Perrys, because their ancestors accused people of being witches. And I'm like, okay, stretch that one a little bit harder for me. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. We are talking about like several hundred years at this point. I don't think the average Salem resident gives much of a fuck over exactly who may be related to the, like, honestly, I would say, like, if, I don't know, like, I don't live in Salem, so I have to say that already. But like on some level, if I were visiting Salem or something like that and found out that like the person showing me around, she's like, oh yeah, no, actually I'm related to one of the people who was like accusing witches, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of an interesting connection. Let's talk more about that. You know, not like, oh my god, your ancestors were one of the ones that like accused witches. You're a bad person yourself. Like, okay, come on. All right, come on. Like, we can move past that particular one, shall we? Now, the other side of that coin, though, is that you can even hear at one point earlier the kind of yeah, mischievous pumpkin. A kind of side conversation between two random people in the crowd or something, where it's like, you know, the AW organization or collective or whatever just wants money and attention, and that's why they're going after the Hathorn house, and you know, it's too many hundred years late to do any kind of reparations. And then, you know, the other person's like, well, no, I mean, they have some legitimate claims that like Judge Hathorn used his position and the trials to remove the property rights of people he wanted to buy the property from, like, so that he had his own thing. It's like, okay, no, this may not be the like perfect vehicle for that kind of conversation in the United States. That would actually be the issue of reparations and slavery. But like, those are some actual things that we can talk about. Like, and that's something that I do remember being a thing with this game that I felt impressed by compared to the recent, the last Nancy Drew games of the kind of classic point and click style with the old engine and everything. Is that they kind of started moving away from some of those weird questions, those weird and deeper questions that really made you think, and started moving like into, you know, not talking about any kind of societal problems or anything like that. Because, I mean, there were nuanced conversations happening throughout some of the earlier games, especially on, you know, archaeological artifacts and who they belong to. Should they be displayed in museums? You know, where provenance is a tricky thing to track. What about where there is very clear provenance, but it was, you know, purchased or stolen, and like stolen, you know, I'm trying to hedge my words here a little bit, you know, like the archaeology team that went to the site and dug it up and then returned with it, you know, was like an American team in Mesoamerica instead of, you know, a Mexican team, you know, excavating their own heritage. You know, those kind of conversations happening in like Brain, Scarlet Hand. I remember, like, I think Haunted Carousel and Final Scene both talked a little bit about kind of like the history of art as it relates, you know, with Haunted Carousel it was the carvings, with Final Scene it was the building, and it was like, you know, on the one hand preserving the history and you know, preserving and respecting the history of a building and what it did for the city and how it fit into everything. On the other hand, recognizing that that building or that thing no longer has use anymore, and what do we do when like you've got the kind of extremes of that position then, where you've got like, don't touch it, leave it exactly as it is, even if it's dilapidated and falling apart and it can never make any money, we need to leave it as it is even if it falls apart because it's history. Or tear it down, build something new that we're actually going to use and will benefit the community today and now, instead of just holding on to a relic of the past that no one can actually use. It's they're interesting, nuanced discussions that the games were actually forcing you to think about at such a young age, which is kind of cool. And this game does that. It's bringing up like there were historical wrongs that deeply affected families hundreds of years later, and how do you deal with that when you are so far removed from the events that happened and the people that it happened to and by, but it still affected people in some ways, right? And again, I think it's kind of a little bit of a more of an allegorical, easier pill to swallow form of having the discussion of slavery reparations and dealing with the legacy of slavery in the United States, because the Salem witch trials are kind of settled history. We understand everything about it, and while there were rippling effects throughout the years, certainly not to the same extent, certainly not to the same depth as it was for enslaved African people that were brought here and sold in chattel slavery. But this game is forcing us to listen to all these different perspectives and understand like there are lots of angles to listen to here. Like there are legitimate questions on several points over this one property, this one house, and who it should quote unquote belong to. At this point, the woman who lived in it was directly related to Judge Hathorne, and she died without any heirs. And so where does it go? Does it get sold? Does it go to the benefit of the city? Does it go to the descendants of those who were accused wrongly by the judge himself? Does it go, in another case, to someone who has a personal stake in having the property and will itself be in some ways a reparation for her family history? Like, it's complicated, and that's the thing. There's complicated questions. It's okay, I'm gonna turn my phone upside down so that I don't keep looking at that stuff.
It was a time of horror when the witches who walked the earth.
So yeah, that's my piece. This one thing that I have to really give them credit for in this one is that
you'll find here in
it might not be the most exciting
their knowledge destroyed, their lives
plot or
Okay.
everything.
I'm actually exhausted. Let's head back to the Perry house, okay?
Okay. It's not the most exciting one. It's not the best in several different ways. It represents very much a totally new thing for the company, and wasn't the most smooth. It isn't the most smooth experience here. That being said, it was a little bit of a return to form, at least in this one way, and I appreciate that. I want to see if there are any more of those candle spots, because I want to make sure all the pumpkins get placed. This is important to me. This is very important to me. I don't remember if there are any more Put in the... Put that one there. You know, actually, I wonder if there's a list of them somewhere. Pumpkin locations. Here we go. There is one on the rock. There it is. I saw that. Okay, so Hay Bale, Olivia Stage, Step the Courthouse. All right, Roger Conan statue. Make another pumpkin. Cemetery. There's one more in the cemetery. I can make it goofy. Oh, that's actually kind of neat.
Looks great.
Kind of like, I don't know, it reminds me of like the kind of quirky, silly, dumb sidekick. Very like LeFou kind of a deal, right?
Yes.
Fuck you, Roger Conan. On it. Not actually saying. I don't know anything about the man. He founded Salem. That's all I know. And I never paid any attention to his freaking statue. Yeah, there was intent there. There was authorial intent. What about just circles? Circles all the way around. All circles.
Done.
Alright. There's at least one more in the cemetery. Right there. Boop.
Yes.
Okay. So we have counter by the flyers in the museum, good. Hay bale between the stage and the courthouse, good. Livia's stage, good. Rock of Roger Conan statue, good. On the steps of the courthouse, good. Cemetery, Little Liberty, from the big tree, good. Unmarked graves, good. Perry house, front porch steps, good. Kitchen island, good. Guest bedroom window, good. Then we just have Hathorn house and Luminous Infusions. It's the last two. I will make one more to have in my inventory. Nancy will walk around Salem, Massachusetts holding a fucking carved pumpkin because why wouldn't you? I mean, you don't?
The Salem Museum.
I will note, and this is something that I feel I remember being disappointed by, and I will continue to be disappointed by it, I think. I have not written down anything. Very evil. Ooh. I have not written down anything in my notebook. There's not been a single, like, meaningful...
What do we want?
piece of information, puzzle, like nothing so far has done anything.
So, any thoughts?
First album was better.
Yeah, definitely not a lot. But we're talking about the music.
Really? You like this?
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, well, they were much better before they changed their bassist.
I meant the case. What do you think about it?
I don't
I
like
mean, there's no
Yeah, I kind of got that. I think the feelings.
live instruments in there, so I don't understand what the comment about the bassist is, but
What? You don't think so?
I really need to talk to May before I lean in any direction.
And you will, once you've gained her trust. Why haven't you done that yet?
Because I'm in the car talking to you. If May were willing to give an alibi, we could clear this up tonight. She's not talking to anyone, it seems. We are all allowed to enjoy some amount of privacy, but her refusal to be interviewed leads me to believe she is hiding something.
I can't believe you, Drew. I thought you were here to help.
Do you know nothing?
Not everyone can
Deirdre?
be as brilliant and cold as you are.
I'm not cold, and I never said I was brilliant either.
You need to get May to trust you. If she trusts you, she'll open up and tell you the truth. And then you'll see. You're kind of my last hope to reach her. You're good at finding ways to get people to open up. Usually. So find a way.
I'll try.
All right. Obviously, you failed.
May seems a bit off.
No shit.
You. She'll warm up to you. Eventually. She's always listening to music. Maybe try that.
Oh, what kind? Pop? No, punk. Industrial? Drum and bass.
Those are
don't know.
very
Yeah,
different
probably just
fucking genres. Like, did you just invoke pop, punk, D&B in the same fucking sentence? Like,
Hey, what are you listening to?
You like this?
Yeah, we were listening on the way over. First album was much better. Yeah, too bad they changed bassist.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just, you don't look like you listen to this music.
Why does no one believe?
this.
Now you know how I feel.
This music is fucking like corporate elevator music. Why are we talking about it like there's a bassist even involved? Like I'm surprised you listen to this. What, fucking vaporwave? Like, what?
Your sister really cares about you.
She has a strange way of showing it sometimes.
Well, she cared enough to get Deirdre and I involved.
I worry about her.
How come?
She takes her work really seriously. Like, she cares. A lot. Like, way more than most normal people do for their passion projects. It's not a hobby, it's more like something she has to do.
Kinda sounds like me.
I hope not. It's like her personal crusade, like only she can make it better or something. You can't live your life like that. You need to enjoy it. Enjoy it with people you love.
Yeah, believe me, I know. Can you tell me anything about Olivia Ravencroft? Anything at all?
I can tell you she doesn't get along with my sister.
No shit.
Why?
I don't know. They had some falling out a while ago. You should ask her.
Do you think Olivia would have any reason to light the Hathorn house on fire?
Let me put it this way. Olivia is what we call in this town part of the witch business. Anything dramatic, spectacular, or with fire, she's usually involved.
So you think she did it?
I didn't say that. I just think it's possible that she could have.
Okay, thanks.
The witch business, not a bad start to explaining it, yeah?
Look, I spoke with the judge. They don't have anything on you. All we need is an alibi, and then they can't charge you with anything.
And they're not going to have anything on me. Because he can't prove I did it.
Then why not just give the police an alibi? That's all they need.
I just can't. It's not only about me, okay?
Okay, I understand. But I can't help you or anyone else if I don't know who they are.
Just, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I can't.
Okay.
You and the judge know each other. Have a history?
This fucking elevator music is a little too loud.
Because I used to be friends with his son. His son has had an interesting life, and he thinks it's my fault. He holds a grudge against me.
Really? That sounds surprising.
You live in a small town long enough, people make up their minds about who you are. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. It just is.
May, I know you don't know me that well, but I'm here to help you.
I didn't burn down the Hathorn house.
Okay. Why does everyone think you did?
It's called prejudice. I look different. Or something like that.
That doesn't seem like a good reason to burn down a building.
What can I say? We're stupid. We
you ever visit the estate?
All the time. I appreciated it.
Oh? Why? Because it's historically significant?
It was built by a cold, brutal man who sent a bunch of people to their death because he didn't understand them. I appreciate being reminded of what happens when greedy people stay in charge.
Yeah.
Did you know Frances Tuttle very well?
No. But I know her daughter Lauren has that shop, Luminous Infusions.
You ever been inside?
No, why would I go there?
I was just wondering if you knew her.
I don't. I mean, I know she used to hang with my sister back in the day. But I guess they fell out or something, that's all I know.
Interesting.
Have you ever seen this lighter before?
The non-coffee coffee shop
Days ago. Where'd you find it?
on the front porch.
Front door.
Are you always snooping around?
Yes.
I have a knack for finding things that other people miss.
All kleptomania.
This means a lot to me. I'm done talking, okay?
I'm done talking, okay?
Well,
She's protecting something. Or someone.
okay, yeah, obvi. But what?
I don't know yet. I'm getting through to her, though. We have to go to the Hathorn house. Tonight.
Tonight? Like, in the dark?
Why?
You have flashlights?
You do remember what I told you about that.
Why are we going to the creepy place in the middle of the night?
Go. You stay here and see if maybe May feels like talking to you.
Be careful out there, Drew.
There's no such thing as ghosts, Deirdre. I'll be fine.
No, not ghosts. People swear there's something in that house. Too many people believe it to not be true. Could be a wild animal or a toxic waste dump, I don't know. Just keep your guard up, okay?
Oh, wow. That was really sweet.
All right, let's not hug or anything. You should check in with Lauren Holt. She still lives up there. Take the keys for my car. It's way too far of a walk all the way there. And remember, things happen after midnight in Salem. Be careful.
All right. Well, that was, you know, it happened. Starts the car. Now we get to see what it looks like at night.
It's locked.
It's locked. She said the iconic line. She said it. I remember when I played this the first time, I was on my last graphics card, my 2080, and I think this part in particular at 4K, especially, my card was like chugging and producing a lot of heat. I mean, things look fine now. Yeah, no, there's not even a lot of hot air coming out of this at all. And that's probably because I have like the beefiest thing known to man. There's literally nothing that it'll do. But that should not be required to run this game. Ooh, spooky. Nice. This is safe. I will say this right here is kind of similar to where the witches were actually hanged. Frank? Oh, hi.
Not creepy. Not at all.
This is a really bad time.
Nancy, you sound excited.
Yeah, well,
Literally just got the shit scared out of me, so.
Wouldn't even begin to.
Salem, Massachusetts.
Joe, how the heck did you guys know?
We read about the Hathorn house in the Globe. Suspected arson.
Why are you reading the Globe?
Not as a suspect, obviously. Tegan Perry mentioned she had hired you to investigate.
Hired? Huh. That's news to me.
So Nancy is prominent enough to feature in a national syndicated newspaper?
Yeah, it's a strange case.
Like, the Boston Globe is featuring an article being like,
Are you guys in Boston?
How'd you know?
You said Globe.
Yep.
There's only one paper I know that uses that name.
Whoa, nothing gets past you. You must keep Ned on his toes.
Well, to be honest, I haven't really talked to him lately.
Oh, really? Yeah, us neither.
Salem's pretty close to Boston. If you guys have the time, you should come up here and check it out while I'm in town.
It's only a 40-minute train ride.
Yeah, it would be good to catch up.
I don't know, Nancy. With our special detective powers, we might be mistaken for witches. Heard they don't
Are you kidding me? They love you guys. Did you know that Salem is the only police force that has a witch as an official emblem?
I don't think that's true.
I'll bet you on it.
Okay, you're on. I'll take payment when we arrive in Salem. Maybe in a week or so.
A week?
Hopefully I won't be here then. But if you can make it up earlier, great.
Good talking to you, Nance.
Yeah, same to you two. Bye.
Okay.
Creepy. Interesting.
Hello. Rotate. Text message. Oh. Okay. Okay, Deirdre. That's all we're leaving it on. Okay. Okay, Deirdre. Okay. Sure. Sure, sweetie. Sure. Oh, welcome to the Hathorn Estate. Architecture's pretty standard for the time, I think. Maybe a little tall. Well, that's spoopy. That's not supposed to happen, huh? That front entryway is perfect. That is absolutely architecturally correct. Front door is pretty good too. Alright, alright. Lantern. Yeah, we got period details here. I'll take it. Holy shit.
Are you Lauren Holt?
You're trespassing. This is private property. I'm giving you one chance to explain yourself.
I need to speak with Lauren Holt.
So, what?
Well, I wanted to talk to her about Frances Tuttle.
Why? Did you know her or something?
No, but I want to.
She was a great woman.
I believe it. She was the former owner of this place, right?
Yeah. You can come in.
The tenor of that conversation changed so fast. Oh my god.
My name is Nancy Drew.
Lauren Holt. But you knew that. T?
Please, you've lived here a while?
Since I was 11. Ever since Frances. Sorry. Still hurts. She was very special to me. So... You're here because why again?
You're here because why again?
For whom, exactly?
A cousin of the Perrys. It seems like everyone thinks she did it, but there's no evidence.
The Perrys are complicated.
Do you think May did it?
Maybe. I don't know. Used to feel sorry for her, but I don't know what she's capable of now. Or Tegan, or both of them. The Perrys look out for themselves, and no one else. Always have. Sorry, I've just been under a lot of stress lately. I don't mean to sound like that. Anyway, what do you want to know?
Is Luminous Infusions your shop?
Yes.
What do you do there? Just curious.
It's a tea room and modern apothecary. You know, Before there was a pharmacist, the town relied on an herbalist to provide medicines for headaches and sickness and energy and stuff like that.
Interesting. Did Francis Tuttle teach you this?
No, I taught myself.
Oh, cool.
Oop, almost dropped that pen.
What can you tell me about the history of the Hathorne House?
Built by Judge John Hathorne in 1695, the man flat out stole the land from the people he sentenced to death. Property has changed hands many times over the years, with Francis Tuttle being the most recent owner.
I really do appreciate you talking to me.
It's hard. I want... Look, I don't really know who set fire to the house, but I know that I want to stay here. It means something to me. It's the only home I've ever had.
Have you looked for the will?
Of course, but I can't find it. Believe me, I've tried to find it, and now the judge has given me days to deliver or the town will take control. I don't have a copy, but I know one exists. Frances told me all the time that the Hathorne house and its grounds would be mine if something ever happened to her. She knew that I would take care of this place better than anyone else.
What happens to you?
I won't be here anymore. But I have representation, a professional lawyer. Her name's Alicia Cole. She's helping me out.
Okay. So, and this is where I'm going to get a little pedantic again, just not just because of New England Salem stuff, but we've met Alicia Cole. She was in the office across from the judge in the Salem courthouse, which, given that she has an office in an official government building, would tell me that she's the district attorney, right? Or the city attorney. So, if she's the city attorney, why is she taking on private clients? Like, unless she's a public defender, but it's weird.
What were you doing 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago? Why? The house was burned a week ago.
Different case. Might be related.
I was in my shop, like I was every night.
Anyone see you?
Tourists. No one who is still in town, but I have sales receipts to prove it. You come by Luminous Infusions, and I'll show you.
So, I saw the ghost out in the cemetery.
The scarecrow?
Yeah, I've heard there were ghosts out here, but all I saw was that.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I've seen a lot of weird things. So far, I've yet to find one without a rational explanation.
Then there's nothing to talk about.
But why does everyone think there are ghosts out here?
A town this old is bound to have some unbelievable stories.
So you've seen one?
You don't live here. You wouldn't understand.
So you have?
I mean, the unbelievable stories aren't
I think
always
we've talked enough, don't you?
about that. So, but okay.
Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Kind of like we talked on last stream about buying body parts from... Oh.
Whoever is doing this, you're not frightening me away. Not possible. That's not possible.
Ooh, you are right there. We're gonna get a full screaming face moment. There it is. Ooh, all right.
Drew!
Ooh.
What's going on? You weren't answering your phone. What's wrong?
I saw it. Or her. I guess it could have been a him too. It was too confusing to really make out.
What are you talking about?
The ghost, Deirdre. The ghost in the Hathorne house. The one you were talking about. I saw it.
Wow. Never thought you'd try to pull a joke like this. I underestimated you. This is a really good performance. Very un-Nancy Drew-like.
It's not a joke. Deirdre, I saw her. Didn't you want me to see it? Didn't you want me to look into it?
Well, yeah, but I didn't think for a second that you would. I guess I thought you'd go up there and find smoke and mirrors or whatever it is you do. You're saying it's real?
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not used to being so freaked out.
Wait, you didn't
It's
leave my
weird
car,
too.
did you?
What? No. I've calmed down enough to drive back. It's outside.
Good. I could get you more chowder.
don't think it'll help. I need answers.
Okay, so let's go through it.
I do find the mystery strangely calming. Okay. I don't know how to explain it, but I saw something.
I saw
Tell you, Drew.
something.
It's as weird as moon chunk cheese ice cream and sandals with socks. But my
I
instinct...
appreciate the moon chunk
That's
thing.
who are related. The fire and the ghosts.
Right. You're not buying Olivia's story that some coven of witches came here to unleash ghosts to take revenge by burning it down, though. Right?
Right, I think. It's unlikely anyway.
You really think what you saw was real?
It's worse than that. I think in order to know, I need to see it again, and you need to come with me. Come on.
Okay. And then we can plan road trips to find Bigfoot and aliens and the Loch Ness Monster.
Hey, sounds fun to me. I found out something interesting from Lauren Holt. Did you know that Francis Tuttle...
Judge Danforth never mentioned that.
Because they can't find it, they assume it doesn't exist.
So if it does exist, Lauren would get the estate.
Yeah. Oh, and that lawyer, Alicia Cole, represents her.
How's that working out for her?
There doesn't seem to be much progress made.
Yeah, well, without a will, what could she really do?
It's been a long day. I think I'm just gonna call it a night.
You do look kinda... Well, maybe don't video chat with the boyfriend. At least not until you get the twigs out of your hair.
Oof. All right.
Appreciate your concern. Hey.
What? You want that chowder now? The offer expired.
I was going to say, we make a pretty good team.
See? That's proof right there. You are definitely hallucinating.
Okay. Oh, good. The Hardy Brothers.
There's always an explanation. Gotta remember that.
What is the town of Greenwich, New York?
Sorry?
They have a witch on their emblem.
We won!
Really?
Sending you a pic. When can we expect payment?
That's a fire department logo. I said police.
Public safety. It's all the same. A technicality.
There's something I have to get off my chest. I saw a ghost.
Nancy's crisis of faith, I guess.
This case, I've never seen anything like it. It felt real. I can't explain it.
What is it? What's wrong?
Hold on. Say no more. It just so happens that ghost hunting is our specialty.
Wait, what?
We're not passing on a chance like this. Be there before you know it.
Only if you really want to. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. More dreams. More spooky, scary stuff. Is that a nose? Yeah. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Ugh.
Yeah?
Cheap scares.
What time is it?
It's early. Hurry up, get dressed, and meet me downstairs. I have something to cheer you up.
I seem to recall this help with breakfast, yeah. This being not fun time.
Oh my, oh my, oh my, not good, not good, not good!
Oh, what are you guys doing in here?
They're trying their best to unimpress me. Mission accomplished.
Nancy! Hi! Joe was just, making an effort.
Burning the house down?
That's what that smell is.
I tried showing him the ropes, but he wants to prove he can do it without my help.
Tegan set out the ingredients for Johnny cakes before she had to run, but...
Johnny
It's
cakes?
been a while since I last whipped something up. Successfully.
Oh, I love Johnny Cakes. I can help.
Of
Is
course.
this a real thing?
All right, Hardy, step down before we have another fire on.
Yeah, no, they're a thing, I guess. Huh. It's not quite a pancake. They're cornmeal and cooked in pork fat. According to that, at least.
All right, let's see. Step 1. 1 cup of sugar. 1 cup of sugar. 2 tablespoons of sugar. This can't be right.
I told you I couldn't keep up with her, so I improvised. I'm 100% certain about the amounts, though.
Let's approach this sensibly. What do we need?
Okay. Flour, sugar, salt, baking powder. Okay. And cornmeal, apparently.
Salt. Sugar. Baking powder. Flour. Cornmeal. 1 cup of. 1 cup of. 1 spoon of. 1 teaspoon of.
Okay. I just guess. Let me try 1 cup flour, 1 cup sugar, 2 tablespoons cornmeal. No. 1 cup flour, 1 cup cornmeal, 2 tablespoons sugar, tablespoon of salt, teaspoon of baking powder. No, okay, alright, hold on.
1 cup of cornmeal.
We're getting there.
1 flour.
I think you've got it.
Okay.
1 spoon of sugar.
We're getting there.
1 sugar.
Looks right to me.
Okay.
1 spoon baking.
Looks right to me.
1 teaspoon salt.
We're getting there. That looks great. Let's tackle the next.
Okay. Maybe I got it right.
All right. Second step. We have to fill the bowl until the weight is just right.
Quick heads up. This is about where things started to go south last time.
Hey!
Let's just trust that Nancy knows what she's doing.
Okay. 8 ounces milk, half an ounce of melted butter, 2/10 of an ounce vanilla. Okay. Vanilla sugar? Tenths of an ounce. Bring that to 11.9. Oh wait. Tenths of an ounce, okay. This 2.7. Okay. And then 8.7. Okay. That must be it.
That looks great. Let's tackle the
whisk.
Finally, my favorite part.
I thought your favorite part was eating.
My next favorite part.
Okay, timing is important. Don't flip the batter raw. Be ready to flip when steaming hot.
Sure thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, we're going.
This is going great. I think.
Almost done.
All done. They look super tasty. Let's eat.
All right. I mean, that was actually not difficult at all. Somehow I thought that was much harder than it really is. So wait, have you had them? I've never had these.
Ooh, these smell delicious.
Great job, Nancy.
These look amazing.
Okay. May, these are the Hardy brothers, Frank and Joe.
We're very interested in your case.
I wouldn't mind having some breakfast myself right now, I'm not gonna lie.
To help us with the investigation. The more people we have working on this, the better.
Oh, you've never. Okay. All right.
Cool.
I had never heard of them until this game, and I totally forgot about them until we just had this moment.
Otherwise, how are you going to impress anyone?
Solving crimes impresses people.
So does committing them. What? It's true. Not saying I'm impressed by that. Just stating a fact. I prefer someone who possesses a deep intellectual appreciation and table manners.
You want to be impressed? We should finally show her our business plan for our new business. What? It's very businessy.
What?
Business.
Well, Joe and I
Say it one more time.
recently about making things a bit more official. Since we're always called to solve crimes, we thought that maybe we should start getting paid for it.
We're starting our very own detective agency. License, insurance, the whole thing. And
we want to know if you'd be interested in being a partner.
A partner?
Hey, table that. All right, Drew. Why not update everyone on where we're at?
Okay, we're just gonna let that.
So, I guess you're wondering about the thing I mentioned.
yes, sounds super
Thing.
exciting.
I already told them about the whole sighting.
Yeah, I can't explain it. Yet.
Even with the most modern scientific techniques available, there are many phenomena that we still cannot explain. I believe what you saw was real.
What?
What?
Sure, some sort of combination of gaseous blow-off and light refraction.
No, supernatural.
Maybe we should. You know what? Maybe we should.
Thoughts and memory and agency.
Shouldn't be too hard, right?
Sure.
I just built some new equipment that I'd love to try out.
I'm sure it's nothing, but we'll go to the cemetery today and investigate anyway. Maybe we can add ghost hunting to our...
Why are we going to the cemetery? I remember this. Oh, there's the whole thing where we're like, we saw a ghost at the Hathorn house. Let's go investigate the cemetery for ghosts. I'm like, why are we investigating the cemetery for ghosts when we saw the ghost at the house? Like...
One thing I'd like to do today is check the town archives.
If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to handle this. You were gonna look into the history of ownership of the Hathorn house, right?
Yeah, sure. We can go together.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure we can do something.
Handle this solo. I'm a whiz
I
with
suppose what you could do... Well, see, here's the...
Sounds like a story.
No!
and I'm not going to tell it to you.
Because if it's supposed to be cooked in pork fat, I would kind of assume
for the investigation
that it would be like you cook bacon ahead of time, perhaps, and then cook it in what rendered beyond that. I usually like baking my bacon at this point, just because it's so much easier to do. You don't have to sit there and watch the pieces. They cook far more evenly. But it does leave quite a bit of bacon fat left behind. So you could use that, I suppose, and like spoon it into the pan, heat it up, and then you could do the whole thing. I don't know. That was just the quick little recipe that I read like on my laptop just now. I'm sure we would find something, and it might not even be necessary to do it in the fat thing. So
The arson that happened last week.
And we haven't had the chance to collect any alibis yet.
We need to ask everyone we've met where they were on the night of the arson. Corroborating their answers with whomever they were with will help bring into focus who is and isn't a suspect.
very true. I mean, that would be the easier way to do it, to be honest, instead of trying to because I mean, that's the thing that bothers me. I mean, even using Crisco, I don't know. Like, I know they're not pancakes in the traditional sense because they've got the cornmeal, but like, I don't know. I don't like the idea of having like. I think the whole point of cooking it in the fat is to kind of give it the kind of crispy, deep fried or like fried kind of thing, but I don't know. That's not usually a texture that I like in pancakes.
Judge Danforth mentioned that he was the victim of a burglary.
What was stolen?
We don't know.
The judge was working with Tegan on developing a case for the Accused Witches organization.
The what?
The descendants of the accused witches of the 1692 Salem witch trials. They're staking a claim to the Hathorn estate due to unjust dispossession and execution of their ancestors. It's one of the reasons I searched for the Book of Apologies in Austria, as it contains a record of wronged families. But someone swiped it from right under my nose.
Literally.
Around the time of the arson, there was a burglary at the judge's office.
Too coincidental not to be connected.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'd like to review the crime scene at the courthouse for any clues.
The judge might not let you do that. He didn't sound very forthcoming.
True. But maybe my father can convince him. They're old friends. I can give him a call.
All right. What else?
We need to figure out how the theft from Mosem Castle is connected to this case.
Theft of what?
The Book of Apologies. My dad
We just talked about this.
Mosem Castle in Austria as a favor for
We just talked about this, Frank. Were you not listening?
It details all the victims of the witch trials, some of which are still unknown to this day.
Also, no one is eating. I love that.
Was stolen as well. 3 days ago, when Nancy was there.
Why was this book all the way in Austria?
Great question.
The resident historian told me the judge who wrote the book willed all his belongings to be preserved by whichever museum would have them at the time. That must be how it ended up in an Austrian castle, for safekeeping.
Well, that certainly didn't stop the thief.
Hard of hearing voice. Nancy, are you sure you want to go into business with these two? I mean, there is one brain between the two of them.
I have something to add. Whoever is responsible for this crime is going to great lengths to cover it up. We don't know if these people are dangerous. Remember that. And be careful.
I mean, okay. Oh, no. We are not doing the minigame again. Thank you very much.
Hey, are you feeling any better about the case?
Nope.
We're going to find out who did this, May. I promise.
If you say so. Look, thanks for breakfast. I just want to say, I know you're trying to help, but I think you're wasting your time.
You said you used to hang out at the Hathorn house, right?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see anything strange when you were there?
Like ghosts?
Yeah.
No, never.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Do you feel ready to talk about your alibi?
I don't even have a passport. I don't go anywhere, so I wasn't in Austria, if that's what you're thinking.
And on the night of the arson? Giving us your alibi would help you so much. People tell me there's a good reason to suspect you, but no one can say why.
Isn't it obvious? I've got a burn mark covering the entire side of my face and like most of my arms. It must be me.
I'm
I don't see how that
happened to you, and I'm
means
sorry
you.
people judge you for your burns.
I prefer it to pity.
Would you tell me what happened?
There was a fire. I was in it.
I'm not trying to pry. It's just that so far, the main cause for suspecting you of the Hathorn fire seems to be this previous one. I only want to understand.
I was 9. It was an old shed, and I wasn't supposed to play in it. It was kind of a den full of stuff, like candles. I got stuck inside. You can work out the rest.
Candle shed.
So it was an accident. You were just a kid. Harsh to suspect you now because of something you didn't mean to happen.
Don't make me talk about it more.
Okay. Thank you for telling me, May.
This just so weird. Like, the whole city suspects you of setting the fire because you were in a fire before.
Talk to you
Like,
later.
the fuck? In what world is that a normal reaction? I mean, I know the whole point is to be like parallel to
The neighborhood looked
a parallel to the witch trials, but that's weak sauce. I'm sorry, that's weak. Driving the car.
Oh, you're here.
Yes, I am. This shop is really cool. I love the decor.
Thank you. It's taken a lot of years to get it the way I want.
I kind of
And you're
imagine
blurry.
This is what an actual witch shop would look like.
Yeah.
Seriously, you have all these herbs. Look.
I mean, I don't know. It just looks like a fucking
Mandrake root. You know,
coffee shop to me,
witches
so,
were
okay.
synonymous with people who used the old medieval ways of working with plants and animals, curing ills. They were healers, shamans, and confessors. You can see why some people might have been threatened by them.
I know, right? No leeches here, though. I draw the line at bloodsuckers. I'm glad you get it. A lot of people around here don't.
How so?
Some say I'm cashing in, not respecting history. People get so caught up in the death and judgment. But I was always interested in all of that lost knowledge, even as a kid.
I bet a lot of kids around here are fascinated by it.
Used to be.
No, a lot of people are definitely still fascinated by this. Again, there is a very large group of people that go to Salem specifically for the witchcraft.
You get a lot of people in? Maybe May Perry?
May. That's funny.
Why?
Look, she's had a hard time. She's not the only one. I've been the kid everyone looks at. You need friends to talk to. She doesn't want any.
She has her sister. Tegan cares about her.
Tegan protects what's important to Tegan. Sometimes that's May.
Well, I'm here to find... There you are. Boop.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Whoa.
Gosh, these pastries look delicious. Herbal teas and natural remedies. A whole menu to choose from. Herbal teas. A commercial grade tea machine. Fancy.
I mean, it is a tea shop, Nancy.
What kind of herbs do you have here?
Just hanging out behind the desk here. Oh, and we're going into something.
People ease their burdens. Since cold season started, business has been booming. Between managing the shop itself and preparing remedies, it's getting harder to keep up.
I don't mind lending you a hand with preparing the remedies, if that's okay with you. I love learning new things.
This is delicate work.
You know how quiet they are when you're doing these kinds of things. Like, when you're talking to them face to face, it's fine, but...
The basics, at least. I'll be around the shop and manage the counter. Just let me know when you have something finished, and I'll take a look at it.
Great. So, where do I begin?
I've prepared the patient notes already. You can find them on the counter. You can use my reference book to study the herbs and what ailments they cure, and the basics of remedy mixing.
Okay. This is gonna be so much fun.
So much fun.
The book looks really worn. The knowledge must be centuries old, if not more.
For all my children, I write this book as a memory saved that my knowledge gathered will live on through you, healing... Tituba. Ooh, hello, okay. Mixing the extracts nature offers delicate precise process, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Within these pages you shall find the wisdom to remedy any of the common diseases that plague your people. Grind the herbs well to unleash their full potential in the mixture. If the person's ailment is harsher than usual, add a larger dose of the remedy. Any mix is only as potent as it is balanced, thus no more than 3 doses should be added in total. Only add 3 doses of the same herb when the patient's suffering has become unbearable. For most, 1 extra dose will suffice. Okay. And then this is a whole thing about what we've got. Okay.
These are the notes she took when discussing the ailments with her patients. Need to figure out the proper mix of herbs to cure these.
Slight high blood pressure, moderate migraines. All right, what do we got? Diet of garlic with your meals is excellent use when suffering from the hard pulse. Believe that refers to high blood pressure. Migraines, I'm guessing that's migraines. Okay, so 2 feverfew, 1 garlic.
Chamomile. Chamomile. Oh, it's locked?
Yeah, I lost the key to that one, sorry. It has to be somewhere around here. I would never bring it home with me. Let me know if you find it.
Sage. Our Lady's Thistle. Feverfew.
Okay.
That's that. Your first proper herb mixture. Congratulations.
Nice.
Thank you. It's tricky to keep track of everything, but the book really helps.
It's old and worn from use, but full of wisdom. It's taught me most of what I know.
We're going to talk about the elephant in the room there, the fact that it's written by Tituba, the first person who was used in Salem witch trials. Slight indigestion, moderate liver. Indigestion is cinnamon, I think, right? Yes. And the liver. Our Lady's Thistle. Okay. So, cinnamon and Our Lady's Thistle.
Our Lady's Thistle. Our Lady.
Good. You're getting the...
Once I've memorized the herbs and their ailments, making the mixtures themselves is easy.
It took me a while to get to the point where I could create mixtures from memory. Impressive.
I'm not doing it from memory, but okay. Nausea, anxiety, migraines. The migraines we've already said is the feverfew. Nausea, ginger, and anxiety. Feverfew, ginger, chamomile. Okay.
Good. I'll put it with the rest. Great work.
Now hold on.
A commercial. What kind of herbs do you have here?
Oh, okay.
Lauren, need some help?
Yes.
Still locked.
He is in the shop somewhere, is what I've been told here, so... Find the key.
What an
Found
odd.
it.
What? These rim. It fits. Sweet marjoram. Sweet.
Unbearable high blood pressure. Garlic, so just eat garlic.
Good.
Unbearable migraines, which was feverfew, right?
With the rest. Great work.
Moderate indigestion, slight high blood pressure. Sure.
You're gonna have to start over.
Wait, it said indigestion. That's cinnamon.
You're gonna have to start over. This one. With the rest. Great work.
My mistake. That's ginger, not garlic. Moderate liver, slight indigestion. Indigestion.
Good.
Memory conditions and liver conditions. Memory is rosemary, I think? Oh no, Star Wars. What was liver again? Relates this one.
Sage. Sweet marjoram. Sweet marjoram. Chamomile.
With the rest. Great work.
Okay. Moderate anxiety, slight liver. Anxiety is chamomile.
With the rest. Great work.
Nausea and memory.
Good.
Unbearable liver. How many more do I have? This.
Good.
Moderate anxiety, slight memory.
With the rest. Great work.
Unbearable liver.
With the rest.
Unbearable high blood pressure.
Wow.
How many more of these do I do?
Good.
Alright, I think I'm done. No need to continue doing this.
You ever hear rumors about a coven in Salem?
That's just something Olivia says to sell tour tickets. I didn't think you believed in that kind of witch.
So you never heard a rumor? As a kid, maybe.
What are you getting at?
I found a photo of you three from when you were kids.
She kept it?
It's so quiet.
Remember where this photo was taken?
Sure. Well, sort of. It was a shed somewhere close to the neighborhood the Perrys live in. We went there a few times.
So, the three of you used to hang out.
Well, that was long ago. We did dumb things. I wish we hadn't. Far as I know, there's no coven of witches, though.
I'm sure you've been asked this before, but where were you on the night Hathorn House was burned down?
I was coming home from work, crossing through the cemetery. I could see the orange glow. By the time I got home, it was almost all gone.
I mean, there's like half the house still there, but
Didn't I
okay.
see you earlier? Like an hour before?
I was in my shop.
Any customers?
No. Are you trying to say that I burned down the house?
No, I never said that.
Good. I've said it a million times, but I'll say it again for your benefit. I'm just glad she wasn't alive to see it. She loved that house, and I loved her. You understand?
Of course. You were the first person to see the fire?
Well, yeah. I was going home, and that's where the fire was.
You know the fire might help you keep your home.
I know.
Quiet again. Why is this so...
It's a slim chance at best. I'd rather it was whole and shown to be mine by right.
But if that's not an option?
Nothing could make me want to destroy it.
I forgot to mention, I was speaking with Alicia and she mentioned that she needed to talk to you. It sounded urgent.
Shoot, I forgot I had an appointment with her.
Do you need me to watch the shop?
You would? Really?
No. I'm watching the shop now.
Yeah. I know where all the heavy hitters are. Cinnamon, pow. Ginger, bam. I got it.
Oh, that's great. Thanks.
Okay.
Gosh, these pastries look delicious.
What am I doing here? Do I just do some of these or unbearable nausea? Oh, hold on. Is that right? This year, sound asleep in your crate in the next room. So much to say. Book you have in front of you has been passed down in our family for generations. Original herbology book written by Tituba, one of the poor souls accused in the 17th century witch trials in Salem. Legend has it she was made free and roamed the world, uncovering knowledge and wisdom on how to remedy all sorts of ailments. Quite impressive. The age stems from her. Had her accusers had their way, neither me nor you would be here today. The book is proof of her right to exist. Everything good that can come from allowing a wrongfully accused victim to live.
Hey, what are you doing? That's private.
Well,
Sometimes my curiosity gets the better of me.
So what? It's private. Didn't you hear me?
I'm sorry. I admit, I shouldn't have read it.
okay. But you gave me the book, and it was hanging out of the book, like...
Please?
Do you know who Tituba is?
I don't. But I would love to.
The first woman in Salem to be accused of being a witch. Practically everyone around here knows the story. This is her book. The original book of remedies and herb knowledge by Tituba herself.
Wait, are you saying that book is over 300 years old? Does Tegan know you have this? She would love to have it in her exhibition.
Yeah, I know. But it's for me. Personal use. According to my mother, my biological mother, we are related to Tituba. She was accused, then miraculously released. Little is known about her life after that. How she learned to write, create this book, but it's important for me to hold on to. I don't have much, but I have this.
Wow, that's incredible. Does anyone else know?
No, I never shared it with anyone. I wanted to keep it safe.
Of course.
Alicia wasn't in her office. I'll just meet with her later. Thank you for watching over my shop, but please, don't touch my things again, okay?
I'll keep my hands to myself.
Don't touch my things again.
I'd love to help you make some more
I mean,
remedies.
again, you kind of gave me the...
Yes, sure.
I just have a couple more things I wanted to ask you. Everyone says there are ghosts in
There's
this
such a long list of stuff.
What is it?
You know, I believe the dead stay dead. But I've seen ghosts recently in my own house.
Really? Who?
Wait, you believe me? I thought I was going crazy.
I believe there's an explanation. Who was it?
I don't know. A woman, wearing old clothes like the kind you find in Tegan's museum. I couldn't see her face, and I swear she was real. I could hear her, I could feel her. She smelled like rotten fruit or something. You know, that gray, moldy smell that hits you in the back of your throat? Yeah, that.
Huh. That's pretty specific, actually. More specific than anyone else I've talked to.
I saw her in the Hathorn house. Watch out for her. She'll come to you. No doubt in my mind.
You remember where you were 3 nights
And we're quiet again. Come on.
I told you already. I have the receipts to prove it, and I'm the only one who works here. Why?
Oh, no, just a related incident. I don't suppose there are any ghost sightings in your shop?
The spirits come and go as they please. I've seen them everywhere around Salem, but I've never seen one operate a point of sale.
Yeah, me neither. You don't feel conflicted, knowing you were related to Tituba and what the house represents?
So I burn it down as revenge for a 300-year-old wrong. That's your thinking.
Tituba seems as much an influence on you as growing up on the estate of the one who accused her. I imagine it's hard to resolve those feelings.
Have you ever seen the Capitol building? Do you know who built that?
Ah, we are gonna talk about it.
Down either.
That's good.
It's not so simple to set things right.
We didn't really say it out loud, but okay. Yeah, slavery mentioned. There we go.
I was hoping I could borrow a key to the main Hathorn house.
Key? Oh, I don't have a key anymore.
You don't?
No, but Alicia does. If you ask her, she'll lend it to you, I'm sure.
See you later.
Okay. That was that, I guess. There is text message time, I guess. Is he always like this? You know him. You know him. You know he's like this. We know. We are fucking aware. One more pumpkin, and then we've done all the pumpkins. Pumpkin squat. Why don't I get tired, pumpkin?
Done.
Kind of tired? Kind of works. Ooh. Not that one? Okay. Am I missing where this is? On the counter to the left of Lauren. Oh, that's Luminous Diffusion. Sorry. Oh, the other one's in the Hathorn house. Not here. Okay, well, whatever. Let's talk. You and me.
You're back! Great. Let me guess. More questions?
Spooky how you could tell.
Though it harm none, do as thou wilt.
Okay.
I'm saying I guess it can't do any harm.
I've been going around asking everyone in town where they were on the night of the arson.
Asking everyone.
At Hathorn House?
Why, I have no idea what you're talking about. Kidding, Nancy. Don't look so serious. I was here that night, doing my thing. I think there had to have been at least 20 people who can confirm that. It really stinks that Lauren is going to lose her home.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, of course.
Three days ago, were you doing any witch tours?
3 days ago? No, I was not.
Okay. You remember what you were doing?
Actually, I had won a spa holiday at the Wayfarer Inn over in Marblehead. It was amazing! They used those glass cup things on my back. It was wicked crazy.
Oh, Marblehead, alright.
Do you have any receipts or...
It was all expenses paid. And I'd show you my back, but I'm a quick healer. Witch powers. It looks like it never happened. You know, I had a flyer for the spa, but I threw it away this morning. Sorry, I know I'm not being helpful.
It's okay.
No, you're not.
You are. Thanks. So, I've heard ghosts are haunting Salem.
Of course.
You believe it?
How could I not when I've seen them with my own eyes?
Really? Can you describe what you saw?
Sure. It was dark, foggy. I was walking through the cemetery. Or was it the town square? I don't remember, but I do remember a ghost. No, multiple ghosts. Spirits.
And did you ever see any ghosts near Hathorn House?
As a matter of fact, I did. I told you that a coven of witches unleashed them on the town a few years back. They will not rest until they get their vengeance. Let me guess. You can't find proof of a living soul present at the house the night it burned. Maybe the culprit wasn't among the living?
Haven't even finished talking to everybody yet.
Have you
But okay.
seen the restless souls of Salem, Nancy?
I've seen something, but I'm not willing to just believe it's real. I need more.
Be careful. They'll still find you whether you believe in them or not. You might want to avoid the cemetery.
It's about you, Tegan, and Lauren, when you were kids.
Why are you interested in this? We grew apart. It happens.
I found an old photo from back then. It had the name Coven on it. Look. Was it the one you talked about in your show?
What was
I
that?
found this photo at Tegan's house? I didn't peg her as sentimental.
So was it the same one?
Well, yes. Same coven. We heard about it as kids, I guess. We were all into history and witches. We still are.
And yet you've never made up.
I don't get why you care.
Can't help it. It's a mystery, even if you all tell me it isn't. See you later.
That's Nancy for you, just getting into everybody's shit. So,
Hey there, girl. Can't tell if you're supposed to be cute or creepy.
I think that's meant to be like a callback to Suki, which is great if it is.
Nancy, hey, how's the investigation going?
Pretty well. You know, it would really help if I could get May to talk to me.
She hasn't given her alibi yet.
No, and everyone seems to have one, except her.
Everyone? Is it possible that it could be someone from outside of town? A visitor or something?
Absolutely. But statistically speaking, crime is rarely a random occurrence.
It's a mystery to me. You have anything you wanted to talk about?
What's the history behind the Hathorn estate?
Right. Well, Judge John Hathorn was born and raised in Salem. His father was a decorated military man who had many real estate holdings throughout New England. And when Judge Hathorn became a justice, he tried to expand those holdings. Much of the land that the Hathorn estate was built on was actually seized property from accused witches.
So awful. I think the land stealing part was even mentioned in Olivia's tour.
Didn't expect her to actually care about the history. At the time, no one made the connection, not even in court documents. But it happened.
Do you think the fire is somehow related to Salem's history with witches?
What do you mean?
Like, is it meant as a symbolic gesture? Because that's how most witches died?
That was a European thing. No, they were more civilized in the New World. We hung our witches. Short drop, so they slowly choked to death. A couple more died in custody awaiting trial, and one, an elderly man who refused to testify, was pressed to death.
Pressed?
Yeah. They put a bunch of heavy stones on top of you, over a period of days.
That's horrible.
She did not know the weight until she felt the freedom. Scarlet Letter. Also a descendant of Judge Hathorn. Except
Also,
Daniel Hawthorne was so
bringing that up.
occupied with his family's history that he added a W to change it.
Wow. The focus on descendants isn't really something they teach you in school.
Yep. We think our world is so much more advanced now, but we have a hard time escaping our past.
There.
Where were you on the night of the fire?
I was at my boyfriend's watching a movie. Here, this is his number. You can ask him.
Have you been dating Damien for a long time?
Yeah, a couple years, I think. I like him. I mean, I really do. He listens to me. Yeah, he's great.
Was he with you?
Yeah, he's great.
Night?
I mean, most of the night. I don't think he's capable of arson, if that's what you're suggesting.
You trust him?
Absolutely. 100%. Go ahead, call him. You'll see.
There was this photo tucked away in the guest room.
Now I'm really embarrassed. Such an awkward age.
Is that Olivia and Lauren in the picture with you?
Yeah, we were pretty tight back then. Had to take pictures.
I couldn't tell where it was taken. Do you remember? There were lots of books and candles.
It was probably the... I don't know. Books and candles are everywhere in Salem. It could be anywhere. It was years ago. I don't really remember.
How did Frances Tuttle come to own the property?
Ms. Tuttle bought it 30 years ago, cheap.
Oh, she was not a descendant. Fair enough.
Owners couldn't be located, so it was auctioned. She was a bit of a kooky lady living in a ruin like that, but she was kind. I mean, she took in Lauren like a daughter. That says something about someone, doesn't it?
I agree. Deirdre only mentioned it in passing, but you and Olivia used to be friends?
We were, and I guess it doesn't hurt to mention that Lauren was a part of our little group as well. But that was years ago.
So you don't get along now?
Things changed.
Did something happen?
I don't see why this is relevant. Aren't you supposed to be clearing my sister's name? She doesn't need more blame for things she didn't do.
What did she get the blame for before?
This town wants someone to blame for everything. She's different and gets singled out.
I want to know more about anyone who might have a motive for the fire.
Everyone's being so cagey. No one's giving me answers, but they want me to help them anyway.
I guess. Go on.
Very much like, we need you to draw a red line. Use this blue pen. You may only use this blue pen, though. We're not going to give you a red pen.
What can you tell me about Olivia?
What can I tell you about Olivia? I can tell you that I think her shtick is ridiculous. And that she's doing this town a disservice by selling this silly idea of broomsticks in this double toil and trouble version of witches. This is a place of real history, and she wants it to be a theme park.
Do you think she would have burned down the Hathorn house?
I suppose it would be good for business. People love a ruin.
Especially a haunted ruin.
She is pretty happy lighting fires. But I don't know. I only want my sister cleared.
I know. We're getting there. I can't help but think about the rumor Olivia talks about. Coven.
You shouldn't pay any attention to her stories. She just says whatever she thinks the crowd wants. Real history isn't interesting to Olivia.
So you never heard this rumor elsewhere?
I didn't say that. There are no witches in Salem.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Frauds and stupid kids doing stupid things. Don't trouble yourself with ancient history and rumors. There's a real kid in trouble who needs your help.
What can you tell me about Lauren?
Lauren is a piece of work. Olivia may pretend to be a witch, but Lauren thinks she's a witch, you know? They are as bad as each other. The real legacy and history of Salem is what's important, not over-the-top stories and hokey potions and lotions.
So you don't go to her shop?
I've never been in, but I've had the tea. My advice? Stay away from the Senna Leaf. Can ruin your whole day.
Do you think she would burn down Hathorn House?
I don't know. Maybe? If she thought it would help her stay on the grounds. She certainly doesn't want anyone else having it, even if there are historical and legal reasons. But like I said, I don't...
That sounds like there's a little bit of a chip in your shoulder in that one.
Do you remember what you were doing 3 nights ago?
3 days ago? Well, I was probably working here. Why?
You were working at the museum. Can anyone confirm that?
Well, I'm always here.
But was anyone else here?
May was home all day, laying low, and Olivia wasn't here either. I don't know where she was, to be honest. You'll have to ask her.
So no one can confirm that? And you're sure May was at home?
She's barely left the house since the incident. People here treat her like she has an infectious disease. It's awful. And I don't blame her if she wants to sit at home on her phone all day. Ugh. Her parents need to come home. Soon. So, I gotta ask. What do you get out of this?
I get a lot.
Really? You travel around, talk to all these people, deal with all their problems, put yourself in harm's way?
Not always. All right, some of the time. I don't know. It's like there's these small obstacles that I enjoy working on, and they're interesting. But what I really love is the puzzle of humanity. What makes people tick? Why do people do what they do? It's always the hardest one to crack, because sometimes we do things that don't make sense. We're inherently irrational. Know what I mean?
You know, there's a theory about why these specific women were persecuted as witches. Some people believe that ergot, which is a fungus that grows in cereal grains, might have gotten into the food supply. It poisons anyone who eats it. Hallucinations, circulation issues, seizures. It would have made people look like they were possessed. Or made the judges think they were doing God's will. Or make the whole town go haywire.
A rational explanation for irrational behavior.
Just a theory. We'll never know. Anyway, I don't want to keep you. Thanks for stopping by.
Pretty sure there were other things I was gonna say.
Can you tell me about the accident May was in when she was a kid?
Why do you need to know that? How is it important?
I didn't think it was, but everyone else sees reason to believe May is the one who burned Hathorn House. So that makes it important, I know.
It started with the arson, and she has other convictions on her juvenile record as well.
What happened?
It was an old shed near our home. May was about 9 or so. She was in it one night. She shouldn't have been. Playing with candles, a lighter, I don't know. It caught fire. She was charged.
She was so
She was
young.
charged.
Responsible. She shouldn't even have been there, and I'm the older sister.
It's not your fault. I'm sorry to upset you. It helps me to understand.
Just don't talk to May about it, please.
I know, right? A fucking 9-year-old was charged for arson, like, and she sustained burns? Like, no. 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 That's a shiny car. The BMW.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it?
Come on, take a break. You need it.
Jason, I have had these protesters outside my window nonstop for days. I must deal with this situation. The longer it goes on, the worse it looks.
Yeah. Ooh, but I'm buying lunch.
You're buying? Really? With what?
You gotta get over this, Dad. It's not good for you. It's not healthy.
What are you talking about?
You resent me.
I don't resent you, Jason. Miss Drew, please, come in. We'll talk later, okay?
Oh, you have time for her, but not for me.
Please, Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Hi. Jason Danforth.
Nancy
Oh
Drew.
boy.
Nancy Drew. You're visiting Salem, yeah? What do you think? Kind of a boring town beneath all the legends.
Jason, come on. We have a meeting.
Actually, it seems like there's a lot going on here.
Well, whenever you're up for some real excitement, look me up.
I'm good. Thanks, though.
I'm sorry. He's still trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life.
Didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps.
Drive a gaudy BMW.
Didn't have the dedication to follow through with the schooling. Anyway, let's get started.
What are we getting started with?
As you know, I want to investigate the crime scene. Could you give me the code for the keypad?
That information isn't usually available to the public. I'm afraid I can't just take your word for it. I'll have it taken care of.
As you know, I want to
That information isn't usually available.
Okay.
Miss Drew, how can I help you?
Hi, Miss Cole.
Alicia, please.
Oh, same. Nancy.
Great. So what do you need, Nancy? Any more paper clips, staplers, or perhaps a hammer drill?
I'm more of a pneumatic nail gun type myself.
Ha ha, nice.
You have a hammer drill in here.
In my closet. I'm a bit of a home improvement junkie. You have to be when you live in a house built in the 1800s.
Yeah, true.
Thanks, but I don't need any of those things. I do have some questions, though. You mind if I take 5 minutes of your time?
Please. I don't mind.
I'm sure you've heard about the burglary in the court's evidence room.
Yes, unbelievable. You know, I've started asking myself, what is happening to this town? It used to be such a safe place. And now we have arson and break-ins. I'm worried there's a pattern of escalation here. I mean, is this the kind of place I want to raise children in?
Oh, you're trying to start a family.
I mean, yes.
I really appreciate that there's the wireless charging lamp on the edge there.
Here in the morning.
One of my roommates actually had that lamp. Like,
The type of people living in a place like Salem is, well, not really what I'm into. How about you?
I have a boyfriend.
Really? He doesn't accompany you on your investigative trips?
Well, he's in college right now, and we see each other when we can.
Uh-huh. You been dating long?
Yeah, a couple of years.
Okay.
No one said it was easy, but we figure out how to make it work.
All I'll say is, most men don't understand what we go through. We have to fight to get a seat at their table, and then they want us to go home and be family makers. Some unsolicited advice from one working woman to another? Don't let his plans get in the way of yours.
I don't think Ned has plans. They don't, because he doesn't have plans. He does what Nancy tells him to.
I just met Jason Danforth.
What did you think? Kinda cute, huh?
Not the adjective I would use.
Different tastes.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like a fast food cheeseburger with extra cheese. And I'm more of a home-cooked meal kind of gal.
What can I say? I love cheese.
So you know him well?
I know him. He does odd jobs for me sometimes. Doesn't hurt that he's easy on the eyes. He is kinda dumb, though.
He is kinda dumb, though.
Listen, spare yourself the headache and just avoid him. Trust me, not much substance. He loves his car. That's all you really need to know.
Do you know who has access to the evidence room?
As far as I know, just myself and the judge.
That's interesting.
Look, I don't like saying this, but the judge occasionally leaves the evidence room unlocked. The man even locked himself in his own office, for pity's sake. Not that it matters. I was told the burglar came from the outside.
So it's safe to say you weren't here during the theft?
Are you liking me for this crime, Nancy?
No, I don't like anyone for this crime. Or any other crime for that matter. Just doing my research.
I was not here. I was running errands around town. Busy, busy, busy.
Do you happen to have the code for the
Ugh.
Nope.
Well, have a good night.
Hasn't given that to me yet.
I'll probably be following pretty soon. Ugh. I am fading fast here. But there are so many of these things in the dialogue tree to get through. Oh my god.
Asking for my alibi?
Well, yes, if you don't mind.
I was at a charity fundraiser, saving piping plovers. Anyone in this town that works in an...
Piping plovers, that's a thing. That's legit.
Are you interviewing any of them?
I don't think I'll need to.
I'm a little bit surprised you'd even ask.
Do you know how big of a deal piping plovers are around Salem, though? Maybe Cape Ann, I suppose?
Would you mind telling me what you were doing 3 days ago?
3 days ago. All day, or...
Well...
Definitely Plum Island.
Would be helpful.
Actually, why are you interested in this?
I was in Austria 3 days ago and witnessed a theft of a historical artifact there that, surprisingly, I believe is connected to this theft.
Yeah. Plum Island's definitely a thing, so...
Really?
Yeah. We chat sometimes. About work. Mostly.
Okay.
Ask him.
Sure.
You're a regular sleuth, aren't you? Picking up other cases now?
Not exactly. It's kind of related to the Hathorn house.
Yeah, let's see. I was home, watching Jason cut the stump out of my front yard.
You hired Jason Danforth for that?
He's cheap. And he can't say no, because he needs the money. Plus, I kind of like watching him suffer a little.
I wouldn't know why.
You know, I could use someone like you. A lawyer is always in need of a good private investigator. If your father would be okay with you working for someone else.
Alicia, I'm my own woman. I work for myself. But you've been very helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Good. Well, when you solve this case, let's talk.
Do you know Lauren Holt?
Owner of Luminous Infusions. Resident of the Hathorn Estate carriage house.
So do you know her?
Absolutely. I represent her.
How's the case going?
Well, that's a bit of a confidentiality issue. But you are the daughter of a lawyer. So, without a will, there is no case. No one has been able to find it.
And without the will, the house goes to the state.
The law is the law. I can try to get a delay. But we've already delayed twice, and the state doesn't care that someone lives there. It's a tough world out there.
I spoke with Lauren. She mentioned you have a key.
A key?
To the Hathorn house.
It's the only copy. Don't lose it. Oh, and this really isn't supposed to be in your hands.
This isn't supposed to be in your hands.
Might have to say you stole it.
I'll make sure to be discreet. Thanks.
Here to help, Nancy. Hey, next time, please knock before entering, okay?
Okay.
Why did you bring your hammer drill to the office?
Well, after the burglary, we realized that this place was in dire need of higher security. I ordered the keypad online and used the drill to mount it. I just keep forgetting to bring the drill back home with me.
That's impressive.
Yeah, still ended up calling a professional when the thing wouldn't stop beeping.
What did you mean when you said the people here are not your type?
Oh, you probably know by now. You've been around town, right?
I have.
It's all people with minds as small as the town itself. I don't mean to sound harsh, but you can only meet so many with the same mindset before you see a pattern.
That's interesting. Did something happen?
Oh, nothing much. Sometimes I just wish this place would be a bit bigger, you know? More progressive. Imagine a revitalized town.
Do you think that could happen?
A woman can dream.
See you later.
Oh, good. Nedley. How are you doing? You want me to come over? BRB just gonna fly out to Boston. Like,
I need to get Judge Danforth's permission before I investigate the burglary.
all right, well, this is probably a good place to stop. I'm tired. I need to sleep, so this is probably a good spot. Done and settled. Oh, okay. That is day 2 of Midnight in Salem. Don't know exactly how far along we are, to be honest. I don't remember how long this ended up taking before, but you know, this is a bigger game. I do remember that. So we'll see how far we get next week. Speaking of, next week on Tuesday, we will pick up where we left off with more Midnight in Salem. There's not a whole lot more for me to like critique and nitpick anymore, so we won't go on any long screeds like I did earlier today about the cemetery, or like on Tuesday about the buildings and the streets and everything like that. But this I don't think there are any more like deeper environments. I will say the one big thing kind of lingering that I honestly don't know about is the whole Prohibition Tunnels thing. I don't know if that's real or not. I kind of am skeptical that it's real, but I can look it up. Probably not hard to find, to be honest. Because I have to admit, I don't know that Salem's ground is the type that one could discreetly dig a network of secret tunnels. You know, between the fact that it's really low and close to the ocean, and so it's pretty waterlogged ground to begin with, and probably a fair amount of sand, there's also a lot of rock. Knowing the New England area the way I do, our soil is incredibly rocky. So, you know, being discreet, going underground is questionable. Anyway, that's it for tonight, though. Thank you all for joining. We'll pick up again on Tuesday with more Nancy Drew and Midnight in Salem. Until then, have a great night. I will see you all next Tuesday, I hope. Have a wonderful weekend. Take it easy and rest well. I'm certainly looking forward to having a wonderful, fun weekend with my boyfriend down at P-Town, or at least just a day. We're going to go out for the day tomorrow. Stay the night. It'll be fun, though. I'm looking forward to it. So have a great night, everyone, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.